Hello everyone, this is Chris Surface here for SDI course FTT 211. This is our stock refinishing and metalwork lab. Today is week 1 and I haven't done anything yet, as this is exactly what it was when I finished up my last course, the FTT 210. I'm going to have to take all this apart so I can start working on refinishing the stock. Okay, I got everything removed on here so I can go ahead and do some final checks on it to verify everything looks good before I go ahead and start applying my stain. I was going to go through and just touch up a few spots, mostly on the inside here with a little bit of sandpaper, kind of get rid of some rough edges, that way it doesn't get snagged on my brush or anything like that. Try and clean up just a little bit of the Prussian bluing from before, and then make sure everything, you don't see any kind of dents or anything in it, and then I'll start wapplying the stain. Alright, so I went ahead and got that sanded down a little bit, cleaned up a few more spots that I didn't like the looks of. So now I got the stain already open. We're going to go ahead and start applying the stain to this, and we're going to see how it turns out. Alright, so I've got the stock all stained up. I'm going to let it dry for a little bit. I'll come back in and check on it, and then we'll go from there. I end up using one of these terry cloths to apply it, and in the harder reach places I have some cleaning Q-tips. I was able to put the stain in there with that. So while waiting on the stain and everything to dry so I can go ahead and continue doing what I need to do on the wood itself, another thing we got to do is we got to polish the brass up. I'm going to use this here buffer tool that I have and some various grits to polish it up to a nice shiny finish. I tested it on one before just to see how it was going to turn out. It turned out pretty good for this one, but I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of the other components, the butt plate itself, the toe plate, and get all this cleaned up. Alright, I have got all the polish now. There's 3 pieces. I have to wipe them off a little bit, get a little residual polishing compound off of them, but this is what they look like. Some of them took a little bit more. They had some deeper gouges on them, so it was a little more difficult, but this is all the completed brass parts. This one had a little imperfection to begin with. It's a pretty deep gouge. I didn't want to try to take it out, but then it's going to make the shape off, so I just went ahead and left that the way it was. And there's the last piece. Okay, we've got the first set of stain on, and I've let it sit and dry for a little bit. We're going to hit it with some steel wool, and then after I get that steel wool on, after I hit it with the steel wool, I'm going to go back and put a second coat of stain on and let it sit for a little bit longer. I'll show you when I get done with this. I'll show you what it looks like after my second set of stain. Now that I hit the steel wool, I'm going to go ahead and start applying some stain again to it. Okay, I got my second set of stain put on there. I'm going to go ahead and let it sit for a little bit, then I'll come back and see what it looks like, see if I want to put a third coat on, or if I want to go ahead and start sealing it up. Okay, now that I've got the stain to where I want it to, I'm going to go ahead and hit this again with some steel wool just to touch up on some stuff. And then I'm going to apply this sealer that I've mixed up. It's this True Oil Good Stock Finish along with 100% mineral spirits. It's a 50-50 mixture. This was suggested on the announcements. So I'm going to try that out and go from there. Alright, I got that seal put on there. I'm going to give it a little time, and I'll come back here in a bit and hit it with some steel wool and put another coat on it. Okay, now that this is dry, we're going to go ahead and hit it with some steel wool again, and then I'm going to put another coat of this gun stock finish on it. This one I'm just going to apply the way it comes. It's concentrated like this instead of diluting it like I did last time, and I'm actually going to apply it with my hands this time. I have finished applying the gun stock oil finish, and now we're going to let it see how it does and give it some time to dry. Okay, I finished up the wood stock. I've got it all sealed, stained, and ready to go on to the next step. Along with that, I also have all my polished brass components right here. And that'll be it for this project.